Day's been coming. A cold freeze. Time to put the pressure washer in the heated shop. So what have we here?
Well, I've been looking at a new manure spreader. We have a really good local dealer that sells H&S. They do a good job of keeping parts in stock. And so he came out yesterday and looked at our old one. He said he might have a price for us today. Looking at this model, 3156. It's 560 bushel, like the next size bigger than what we have. We'd like to have a huge one, and yet
we kind of need something to that the skid loader is still tall enough to,
because we clean a lot of buildings out and dump in there, so we think this is going to be a little bigger and yet still able to do what we want to do with the skid loader. So
yeah, and this one won't be falling apart. About 30 degrees right now. You're watching post-harvest Sonne Farms now. So what we got? Hi. Good morning, doggy. So what we got going on, we're gonna start fertilizing our corn stock. This last season we were trying to do that in the spring and it was hectic. And so when we can, we like to get that on in the fall. The product we're putting on isn't leachable, so it's not a big deal, and it just helps us get some work done when we can. One issue we had yesterday is our air compressor quit working. It sounds weird, and it will not pump up at all. So when I take off to the co-op here to get some fertilizer, I'm going to use their air compressor. Got to pump a few tires, and Dad's going to get feeding, and then he's going to haul some of those corn stalk bales that we baled last video. So I think I'm ready to head off to the co-op, grab some fertilizer. We're fertilizing some maize today.
on the comments this morning I was reading, somebody asked if we've ever had a animal get in the combine. What happened? I haven't, but my brother many years ago, he was combined in the dark, and all of a sudden a raccoon came and it got
wedged.
The corn head took it in.
Oh.
And instead of the whole coon going through the combine, it skinned the raccoon with the stalk rollers.
Oof.
Yeah, the snapping rollers. So that's what happens, I guess, when you hit a raccoon sometimes. So
they don't know, just turn. They just go straight. You just gotta turn.
I can't go left.
The last water. Gonna have to switch to beer. We'll probably also end the day with some tillage, 4-wheel drive, because we want to knock down the weeds in some sloughs so they can dry out in the spring, and hopefully we can farm them. It's starting to look like the inside of a car during study hall again. Hope they don't mind me borrowing some air. Woo! Alright, let's get some fert. That ain't looking good. So we have a lid on our fertilizer spreader, and it kind of comes over like this. And it's kind of dangerous because sliding door on this shed is not very wide. And so I just feel like one of these times I'm going to completely forget to shut it before I leave, and I'm just going to rip it off on the side of their building. I'm surprised I haven't tore off the unloader on the feed wagon yet. I almost did it a couple times, but that day's coming. I think we're ready to go. If you remember from spring, we got to engage this, and man, it was a while ago. I'm sure many of you didn't see those videos, but we lost this mechanism right here that the spring, it keeps the chain pushed down on the sprocket. So we like wired it shut, just tried to get some stuff done, and that was probably a dangerous move, but it worked. I think I got this set right. Fertilizer spreader is one of the easier jobs. One thing that sucks is that, well, you run out and you got to go back and get more. But besides that, you get a lot of acres covered. We get about 50 acres an hour done with this thing. I'm just doing an outside pass around the whole field, and then we'll start working back and forth. There is a giant slough that we're in the cemetery field right now. If you remember harvesting corn, we had a video when we were out here. So there's that really big slough. We don't have the fertilizer spreader overly full, so hopefully, or maybe if we do get stuck, we can use the yankum rope. It's a win-win. We're getting up on that slough. We haven't been able to plant or harvest anything for 2 years in here. Dad actually drove through it with the combine when we were harvesting just to get to the other side. There might be a little bit of wetness down in there, but I was driving across it down there with the full grain cart. And Dad said when he saw me doing that, he was freaking out. And yeah, it could have just all of a sudden dropped in. Probably one of the dumbest things I've ever done, but it barely even left the lugs in there, so we made it. Freaking cattails. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna disc this all down. Deer season's coming up here in just a couple of weeks. This field is actually where I got my first deer. It was a doe. It was getting late in the season, hadn't really even had a chance to shoot at anything. We were sitting down at the end of this big long tree belt and deer came out this way, and it was a nice big doe. Not that there's like a prize for that. I mean a big buck, that's something, but it was a nice juicy doe. Like I said, I'm planning on making a video of deer hunting whitetail this year, so be on the lookout for that. Hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying yourself so far and you're new here. I think the best part about subscribing is that it is 100% free. It doesn't cost you a dime. Looking's free, but touching, that'll cost you. Just starting to get to the slough. I assume I'll be okay, but you never know. Wonder if there's any worry that tall stuff will get wrapped up in my PTO. Add a little spice, a little flavor to the day. Jeff's hauling those cornstalk bales. He said he's gonna eat an early lunch, switch off with me, and then I'm gonna hop in the 4-wheel drive, and I'll start hitting this slough like the wet slough it is, and we'll just keep rolling today. All right, that one's done. Here's the next one. Dad should be here pretty soon. Dad just pulled up to switch off. Lunchtime.
I got the mount blue.
Okay. So Dad says he ate leftovers. There aren't any left. I don't know what you're gonna eat. So that's fun. I'm hit. Well, look at here, it's Uncle Jeff. Hi. Howdy. Who's your new friend? So we're getting the shed packed, getting ready for winter hibernation. We threw the combine up against the wall, because all last year that auger, was just sticking out and getting in the way. We got her shined up. Grain cart's over there. That pressure washer, that wax just makes this thing so shiny. Which reminds me, I got a sticky mouse trap that I want to put in that cab. Hopefully between the mouse traps, the sticky mouse trap, the rat poison in there, we'll keep that thing clean. And when we try starting it up, we don't have any wires cut next fall. Whew. Well, I found a nice frozen pizza, so I cooked that up real quick. Of course, I didn't wait long enough for it to cool down, and I burnt my mouth. You'd think after 22 years I'd figure that one out. Guess not. Ellie, it's warming up a little bit. Kind of still glove weather. My hands are cold. I think the 4-wheel drive needs some fuel. It was pretty low last time we used it. And then I think we'll head over and hit that wet slough. If you missed it, this just looks amazing over here. Our new cattle setup. Sometimes I just come out here and sit and stare at it. We got some concrete up in here. We got a new fence. We got some concrete in the back there so we can let those heifers loaf around outside and not get the building dirty. Almost makes you excited for calving. We hooked this up quick the other day just to get it out of the way. Like none of my hydraulics are hooked up. Gotta give the tip a good rub, that way you don't get dirt into the oil and it's just hard on the pump. What are the odds those are all correct? Try number 1 here. Sweet. That one is right. Number 2. Number 2's backwards. Not too bad. Not too bad. Hey, can you wash the fuel pump? I gotta go grab a bottle of water. Just don't let it run over, okay? Let me know if this doesn't look right. No big deal. I'll just run home and pump it. Oh wait, well I guess we'll back up 500 feet. So I called my uncle, Greg, not Jeff. He lives right down the road, and we're just gonna borrow his. Hopefully that tire doesn't come off the bead or get ruined. I'm just gonna drive slow. You can see it move. Like, I think where the tractor, oh, I got a semi coming. This ain't good. I think this weekend we better go buy a brand new air compressor. Hey, when I was getting in this tractor, I was thinking about saying this machine's been really reliable and I've never even had to pump a tire on it. Can't say that ever again. I gotta imagine it's gonna take about 30 minutes to pump this thing. It only took 12 minutes to fill her up. So I was like, well, why not check the other tires? So I come over here. That one's empty too. Alright, so I started looking a little harder. Apparently, every dang dual on this thing is basically flat. Let's hope that's the end of that. Also, when I got back here, one of these hydraulic hoses fell out and was dragging on the ground. I don't know why it had to be today that all those inside duals had to release their air like it was the first second after walking outside leaving their girlfriend's house. You guys know what I'm talking about. As Brian Sonny would say it, I could sure use some mouth lube, but I didn't bring any water. That whole thing where I was saying we never had to pump any tires on this tractor, maybe they were flat the whole time. Might take a couple passes. There's a little bit of mud down there. There's even trees starting to grow in here. It's been that long since last time we could get something planted in here. Granted, those trees grew really fast, but cattail seed flies everywhere. Some more trees. Oof. Do you need some ibuprofen? We got that big slough all chopped up. Now there's one more. It's like half an acre over here. I'll have to hop over there and hit that slough that Dad just drove through as well. One more tiny one in this field and then we'll be hopping over there. Just so dry down in there. He went like this, like it was a horse. Do you guys know what this video's been missing? That's right, cows. But not only that, more cowbell. But don't run, I have gifts. These girls love a good cob. They look fancy. Can't get much fancier than these Black Angus cattle. Alright, I think we got done what we needed to today. If I'm at a combine down this thing, that would be tough. You tires better stay pumped. I ain't doing that again. One thing I've always wanted to do is to take pipe and like pipe the whole shed all the way around it and have a bunch of different quick couplers or whatever they're called around there so I can plug an air hose in wherever I need to go. We might be buying a brand new air compressor. Might as well just finally do it and just plumb all the way around the walls and just make it so we can get air everywhere, like to the back of the shed. It ain't fun having to wheel the air compressor to the back of the shed. That's work. And it's finally starting to get cold. I don't want to say that like I want it to, because I don't. We can now turn those shade panels back into windbreak panels. We'll probably get that done here in the next few days. Looks like we got 14 bales up on here. Try to find where we can put them. Makes for really good bedding, especially outside. They're thick, it's coarse, they're dry, and it soaks up a lot of stuff. It's good for the calves to lay on, and it doesn't get too dusty. Like some of those beddings can get really dusty, and it's not good for the calves to be breathing that in. You guys won't believe who's back. Squirrels! Hey, quit eating the kern. Quit eating the kern! There were 3 of them. He brought friends. Look at what they're doing. That might have been coons too. Rats and coons and squirrels. Oh my. Bales are unloaded. We got almost 60 bales. We should be sitting good for bedding. We still got soybean stubble and millet from last year. So bring it on, winter. We got bedding and lots of it. Well, hello. We got a mouse trap, rat poison, another mouse trap, and a sticky trap. That's what I don't like about fertilizer season. It gets all slimy and it gets on the floor, and then it smells like the inside of a house that has cats. Dad got back, he got done with that field, and he got this full for tomorrow. We're just gonna park it in the shed. Might sprinkle tonight. That'd be awesome if we got like an inch of rain. Don't you just want to work some cattle with this nice setup?
No, they'll poop on it.
Did you use 2 pounds of hay? I thought that was a meaty lunch.
Tell me, Cole,
Supper?
give me a rating on how you liked my green bean
Casserole?
Green bean tater tot casserole with
It was
stuffing.
it was lacking something.
Oh.
Flavor?
The hamburger was a little.
It could have used more lube.
Well,
as they say.
I put that
Cream of something.
that beefy mushroom sauce in it. I thought it'd do more.
I don't know.
Tonight's your turn. You can do better.
I guess. So that was Sonne Farms day after harvest. We got some more fertilizing. We got a chisel. We got to do some tillage. And in about 2 weeks, we'll start weaning.
Yep. And
2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah. What else we gotta do? We got fencing to do.
We got some fencing.
Yeah.
So we got a lot going on.
If you want to, come on along for the ride.
Yeah, what he said. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a good one. Dad, we ran out of water. All we got is bush light.
We'll be alright.